Welcome to my funk flow. We're going to begin kneeling, so find your way to your mat and come onto your knees. Pause and take a few breaths. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Making your way into child's pose, a nice closed child's pose, relaxed with the knees towards each other and the hands reaching back towards the feet, forehead resting to the mat. We'll take another slow, deep breath in and exhale completely here as you start to roll up to sitting. And then from here, we're going to place your palms to your knees, so palms face down, and just beginning to awaken through the spine. So with the palms to the knees, we're going to inhale, round and arch through the back, lifting the chin. Exhale, curl forwards, chin to chest, rounding your back. Inhale as you lift from the back of the heart, looking upwards if that's okay. Exhale, round and coiling into center. Again, inhale, lift and lengthen and open through the back. Exhale, rounding, stretching all those ligaments along the back of your body. And one more, exhaling completely. As you come back up, we're going to swoop the arms up to the sky, inhaling, maybe the palms meet here as you exhale, taking the palms through the heart center. And again, inhale, swooping the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, letting the palms travel through the heart. One more, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, palms resting to the heart space. Pause again as we prepare to move our body and hopefully shift the funk. Okay, coming onto hands and knees and progress into your first downward dog for this practice. Maybe wiggle around, go through your usual movements to really orient your body to this shape, walking in place, rolling through the spine, wiggling through the shoulders, maybe gently nod or shake your head like a kind of like a hybrid yes, no, just loosening up any held and stored tension through the back of the neck. And then we're going to bend both knees, take an inhale. On the exhale, round your spine and move forwards into a plank pose, the top of a push-up. Just pause there for a moment and then begin to lower your hips to the floor or towards the floor. We're just keeping the toes tucked for this one. It's kind of an upward dog shaped position. And then when you're ready, lower the knees and point your toes back in a little bit more of a classical cobra. And then we'll shift back to downward facing dog. Let's try that again. So we're going to bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, rounding forwards into that plank pose. Try to lift up through the shoulders. Inhale as you pausing here. A little bend to the elbows to take you back to downward facing dog. And again, inhale, bend the knees from downward dog. Exhale, rolling forwards. This kind of wave-like movement into high plank. Once you get to plank, just pause, bend the elbows, and then exhale takes you back into downward dog. This time, bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, rolling forwards into that plank pose. Pause for a moment, and just as we did earlier, we're going to lower the hips towards an upward facing dog, drawing the shoulders back. Point the toes, so you're lowering the hips down. So we're in like a cobra, Bhujangasana position here. And then we're going to press ourselves back into downward facing dog. From downward dog, just start to walk your feet forward. So we're stretching the hamstrings along that journey. And then once you get towards the front of your mat, just soften the knees and gently sway your upper body side to side, gently shaking, nodding through your head, releasing through the shoulders. Interlace the fingers behind your head and just drawing your chin towards your chest, stretching all along that fascial line along the back of the neck and the spine. And then we'll come rolling up, slowly rolling up, all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, palms come to the heart space. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive down, bend the knees as you fold, forehead towards the shins. Take an inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Once you get to downward dog, we're going to bend both knees. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll forwards to plank, just as we did before. Once you get to plank, we're going to pause, drawing the chest forwards, look forwards, and then dropping the knees as you come all the way down to the floor. Once you get to the floor, we're going to pause, breathing in. Exhale, rising up into cobra pose, breathing in cobra, and on your exhale, we'll shift back to downward facing dog. Inhaling here, lift your right leg to the sky, and then exhale, step that right foot forwards to the right thumb. Pause for a moment in that lunge, and then we're going to swoop the arms up to the sky into Anjaneyasana, crescent pose or high lunge. Arms reaching up, look up, and maybe open the arms just a little here as we stretch out a little more through the front body, and then sweep the hands all the way to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Let's take the other side. So lifting the left leg, breathing in, three-legged dog. Exhale as you step or lunge the left foot to the left thumb. Pause for a moment to prepare. And then on your exhale, come rising up. Slow transition takes you up into that high lunge position. Reaching up, try to sink down through the hips as you send that left knee forwards. We'll take one more breath in here. Exhale, circle the arms down, the palms frame that front foot, and we're going to step back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to hold. Bend both knees in your downward dog and exhale, moving forwards again into that high plank position. This time, once you get to high plank, spin your heels to the right side and then kind of spin the heels to the left, and just continue shifting heels right and left a few times, kind of pivoting up and over the toes, keeping your core nice and strong, lifting through the front ribs. And then next time you take the heels to the right, keep them there. Start to lift your left arm to the sky. So we're in a variation of side plank here. You can always lower the right knee to modify, or otherwise keeping one foot in front of the other with straight legs. And then we'll make our way back to plank pose. Pause in high plank, and then we'll take the other side. So spinning your heels to the left, one foot in front of the other. Open your right arm to the sky. Optional always here to lower your left knee to the floor in that side plank variation, or you stay with straight legs with the right foot in front of the left. We'll make our way back to plank, high plank, breathing in. Exhale, lower slow, high plank to low, rising up into cobra, or maybe upward facing dog. Now we'll breathe in, and then exhale takes you back into downward facing dog. Once you get to downward dog, just a little pause, wriggle out through the shoulders, just releasing any tension, trying to lift up out of the shoulders, and then we'll make our way forwards to the front of the mat. Feet separate a little bit here, and just releasing your head, your forehead down. Bend both knees, breathing in. Exhale as you come into chair pose. You really want to sink your hips back and down. We'll take the palms to touch here. Inhale. Exhale takes you up to stand. So hands come to the heart space. We're going to pause here for a moment. Just standing, pressing down into your feet. Sweep the arms back, bend the knees, come back into your chair pose. We'll build a little bit of heat and fire now. Start to pulse gently with the hips. See if you can go lower, 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 and then coming all the way down to sit. Finding your way into Navasana, boat pose. So really try to lift and lengthen from your core out through the crown of the head, reaching your arms forwards, but drawing your shoulders back. Place the feet down and hug in through your core. Come up back into Utkatasana, chair pose, bouncing gently through the hips, building heat, and then we'll come to stand, standing at the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out, and then coming back into Utkatasana, bend the knees quite deeply, sink the hips, palms come to prayer, and this time take a twist. So twisting left elbow to the right side, so this prayer chair twist. You could stay with the hands in prayer, otherwise open your arms. So left hand could be to a block or the floor, right arms reaching up. Try to sink through the hips, and then release. Release the hands down, release the head down. Separate your feet a little bit. So feet come to about hip width distance apart. We'll take Utkatasana, so taking a hold of your big toes from the inside, breathing in, lift up, and then exhale, folding down. So waving length through the spine, really allowing your spine, your head, your neck to cascade down. Feeling free to bend your knees as much as you can, as much as you need to, rather. And then we're going to release. Release the hands, walk your feet back together and make your way back into Utkatasana, into that fierce chair pose. Palms come together, palms draw yourself up into standing, so hands to the heart space. We're coming to stand towards the front of the mat. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up into chair again, sink the hips lower, 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 and then come to sit. We're going to revisit boat pose, Navasana. This time, inhale, take that Ardha Navasana half boat. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, take it down, Ardha Navasana half boat. Exhale, coming up, so hugging through the belly. And again, inhale, lengthening just above the floor. Exhale, take it up. Reach the arms forwards, press the feet down, come back up into chair pose. Little pulses here, 3, 2, 1, then coming up to stand. Palms come to the heart space. You're pressing down into the feet. Let's, from here, return slowly into Utkatasana chair pose. So palms come to touch, sink the hips, hands come to the chest, and then twisting other side. So twisting to the left this time, right elbow to the left knee, opening your arms. So very expansive gesture here from the heart, from the chest, opening the arms, really expanding in opposite directions. We're going to fold forwards, separate your feet, again to about hip width distance apart. So here we're going to take your left hand to your left hip. So knees can be bent here. Right hand grabs your big toe, right big toe. So you're hooking the big toe with your fingers. Bend the knees and push into the left foot as you lift the right foot. Lift it up. Lift it once, twice, 3 times. On the 3rd time, just launch up to standing. So you've got your left hand to your left hip. Maybe here you can extend that right leg out in front of you. It doesn't have to be straight. You can keep it bent. Just maintaining here the integrity of your spine. You want to keep that tall, straight spine. Another option is to extend the right leg out to the right side, maybe even looking to your left. It's easy to lose balance here. As you can see, I just did that. Challenge yourself. Take your right leg straight back out in front of you. Both hands to the hips now. Bending both knees and sending your right leg back. So both knees bent, both knees bent. From here, take your right hand forwards, left hand back. Inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee up, left arm forwards. Running man. Inhale, take the right leg back, right arm forwards. Exhale, hugging through the belly, push into the left foot, come back up. Right knee comes towards the chest. One more. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, coming forwards, lift, lift, lift. The right knee hugging through the belly. And then come to stand. Come to stand, hands to the hips. Just pause for a moment, take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then from here with your hands to the hips, you're going to bend the knees, fold forwards and down. We'll prepare for the second side. So here you're going to take your right hand to the right hip, take a hold of the left big toe. First 2 fingers of the left hand grabs the left big toe. Bend the knees, push into the right foot, and then push down into that left foot. Lift the right foot once, lift it up. Push down twice, lift it up. One more, push into the right foot, come all the way up to stand. So left knee into the chest. You could stay here with the left knee bending, right hand to the right hip, or maybe extend the left leg out in front of you. Draw that left shoulder back, lift through the crown of the head. Optional also to extend the left leg out to the left side and even looking to the right if you've got the balance, or you're ready to challenge yourself. Come back to center, left leg straight out in front, both hands to the hips. Try to lift that left leg, and then bending both knees, send that left leg back, both knees bent. From here, we're going to extend left arm forwards, right arm back, running man. Exhale, coming up, left knee to chest, come up to stand. Inhale, launching back, knees are bent. Exhale, coming up, left knee to your chest, standing tall. One more. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, coming up, knee to chest, pause, lift through the spine, and then we're going to step lightly, left foot to the mat, relax the face, and we're going to prepare for the next sequence. Breathing in, reach up, should be at the top of your mat. Exhale, diving down, bend the knees, fold all the way down. Inhale, create that halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. From here, bend the knees, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, rolling forwards into that plank pose, the top of a push-up. Pause for a moment, inhale. Exhale, high plank to low. You can come all the way down or maybe hover and then rising into cobra or upward facing dog. And on your next exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Breathing in here, lift your right leg to the sky. On the exhale, step slowly that right foot forwards to the right thumb. So it's a big step. You're coming into that lunge position. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, swoop the arms slowly forwards, rising up and upwards. Arms reach up. Inhale. Palms are going to touch here. Draw the palms towards your heart space. Pause. Inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to move slowly into a twist. So left elbow to the right knee, palms in prayer. Just pause for a moment. Just pause. And then open your arms. So you have the left hand down, the right arm is reaching up. You can look up if your neck is okay. And then really plant down through that left hand. Take a hold of your right big toe. And if possible, come into this full Virasana. If this is too much, you return to another variation of side plank pose. And then we step that right foot back to where it just came from. Turn your toes, 10 toes to the right, sweep the right arm back, stretching out through the hip. And then taking the hands back towards the front of the mat. Rise up, slowly rise up into high lunge, Untitled. Circle the arms back and down. Come up onto your fingertips and work into pyramid pose. Now, Virasana, straightening that right leg, sending the right hip back. You can have both knees bent if you need to. You can lift the back heel as I am. And then we're going to step back into downward facing dog. From downward dog, let's lift the left leg to the sky. Breathing in, stretching up that left leg. And then exhale, slowly step the left foot to the left thumb. Place the foot down, draw in through the belly. Swoop the arms forwards, slowly forwards and upwards, coming into your Untitled crescent pose. From here, we take the palms to prayer, palms to the heart space, and then moving slowly into your twist. So you're twisting to the left, right elbow to the left knee. Draw your shoulders nice and broad, shoulders away from your ears. And then when you're ready, open your arms. So right hand, fingers or fist comes down. The left arm is extending upwards, skywards, towards the ceiling. Now, preparing for that side plank, you're really going to plant down through the right hands as you spin to the outer edge of your right foot. Take a hold of the left big toe and maybe come into your fullest expression of side plank, Virasana, extending that left leg up towards the ceiling. Step the left foot forwards. Little funky flow. Turn your toes, 10 toes to the left, sweep the left arm back. You're stretching out along the side, waist and the hip, and then take the hands forwards. Come up onto your fingertips, swoop forwards, rising back up. High lunge or crescent pose, reaching up, take an inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, circling the arms down now. Hands frame that front foot, and just a few breaths here in pyramid pose. Working into that left hamstring, and you want to try to draw your left hip back. Enjoying deep breath or two, releasing your forehead. Sink into the lunge and then step back to downward facing dog pose. Let's take a moment here. Pause, drop the knees to the floor, come to kneeling, seated Virasana pose, palms resting into your lap. Relaxing the face, and just take a moment to realign your mind to your breath before we prepare to launch back into this fierce and funky flow. So breathing in, taking your arms up. Exhale, palms come to the heart space. Take a moment as we shift now into downward facing dog. Strong hands, so spread your fingers. Let's breathe in, take your right leg up. On the exhale, step the right foot all the way forwards between your hands. Come rising up into crescent pose. Breathing in, palms touch and palms draw towards the heart space. And then move back into your twist. So twisting to the right, left elbow to the right knee. Here we're going to swoop the left arm forwards and use it to steer you to the side and shift into a reverse warrior. So that right arm reaches up and back, keeping that right knee bent the whole time. Right arm sweeps out to the left side, and then you come back into that revolved or twisting lunge. Palms rest into prayer. Let's try that again. Swoop your left arm out in front of you. Fluid, funky movements. Left hand reaches back, right arm reaches up and over. You're stretching along the right side, right knee's bent. And then returning back into that revolve lunge. Palms come into prayer. One more, last one. Left arm comes forwards. This time as you shift back, we're going to come into a reverse triangle pose. Straighten that right leg. That should feel pretty good. So right leg is straight, both legs straight, the right arm's up. And then moving from here into your classical Trikonasana pose. So take that right hands forwards and down. Find the right shin or ankle, maybe the knee, maybe even the floor, a block if you have one. Left one is extending upwards towards the sky. Look up if your neck's okay. And then move into Utkatasana Trikonasana, that left arm's extending over your head. So really trying to access that side stretch along your left hip. We're going to complete this sequence here by returning to pyramid pose, the hands framing the front foot. I like to come up onto my fingertips here and really work that right hip back as you try to create length through the spine. Come back into three-legged dog. The right leg lifts. We're going to bend the right knee and start to pivot, spin onto the outer edge of your left foot, moving back into side plank. The right foot just taps behind the straight left leg. Dip the hips and then lift the hips as you move into wild thing. So here I'm expressing quite a deep back bend. You don't have to go that far. Wild thing just for a moment, and then make your way back to plank. Slow transition, high plank to low plank, rising up into upward dog. And then exhale, moving back to downward facing dog. So this is quite an advanced sequence. I hope you're keeping up with me, and if you're not, I'm hoping you're finding ways to be true to you. Let's lift the left leg from downward dog, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot forwards, left foot to the left thumb. Swoop your hands forwards, rise up into your high lunge, Anjaneyasana. So palms meet, palms to the chest. We're going to spin to the left, so coming back into that revolved or twisting lunge. Right elbow meets the left knee. Begin to extend the right arm forwards now as you reach forward, start to spin back into your reverse warrior pose, Parsva Vastisthasana. So left arm's reaching up and back, the left knee is in a lunge. Let's use that left arm to send you back forward. It's almost like a wave-like movement, like you're in water, moving like liquid. We come into that revolved lunge pose again. And then right arm comes out to the side, swooping you back into a reverse warrior pose. Reverse warrior. Last one, left arm initiates the movement. We come back into revolved lunge, and then left arm takes you back into reverse triangle. You're straightening that left leg. Left arm is reaching up and back. Right hand's reaching down towards the right ankle. And then let's move from here into your triangle pose. So left hand to the shin, the top of the foot, maybe the floor. Right arm's reaching up. Maybe look up. Take that top arm over your ear, reach forwards, extending, side stretching in triangle pose. Take a couple of breaths here in pyramid pose. You could even step that right foot in a little closer, and as you wave length through your spine, lengthening your torso, your upper body over that extended left leg. And then from here, we're going to move into that three-legged dog. Take that left leg up. Bend the left knee as we transition into side plank variation, wild thing. So the left foot taps behind the straight right leg. I like to dip the hips and then lift up from the back of the hips and take that left arm up and over, really opening and lifting through the back of the heart, making your way with control, with a sense of presence to plank pose, high plank. Take an inhale, exhale, high plank to low, rising up slowly into upward dog or maybe cobra, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Slowly, gently walk your feet forwards, feet wide. We're coming into Malasana, coming into Yogic Squat. So feet wider than your hips, knees bent and dipping the hips down. You might need to use your hands here for support. You might need to lift the hips up. But what we're working towards is having your hips quite heavy and sort of descending whilst your spine is light and spacious and ascending, lifting up through the crown of the head. We'll take one more breath in. Exhale as you take a seat and come rolling onto your back. So we're going to come straight into a supine happy baby pose. So laying on your back, supine Ananda Balasana. And here you can grab the insides or outsides of your feet, maybe even in the big toes. And I like to move a lot. So I like to gently rock on the back of the hips, just gently rocking side to side. And then hugging the knees gently into your chest. We're going to roll the bent knees, stacked bent knees, over to your right side. So you can use your right hand to rest and sort of ground down on the back of the right knee. And then opening the left arm out wide to the left side. Enjoy the breath here and come back to center and switch bent knees over to the left. You can look up here or maybe look to the right. So we're really starting to incorporate that full spiraling motion of your spine through the mid-spine and the neck. Coming back to center. And then from here, you're either going to take a block, or if you have one, a bolster, or like a folded up blanket, maybe a sort of heavy towel, beach towel or something like that, or even a firm cushion, and place it at the back of your hips, or underneath the back of your hips, not the low back but the back of the hips. We're going to extend here the right leg. So just stretching along the front of that right hip there, the psoas muscle. So you've got the right heel on the floor, the left knee is bent, and you're just relaxing your face and the shoulders. Nice gentle stretch here to release. We're going to switch sides. Right knee bends, left leg extends. Relax your face. Enjoy a breath or two here, just releasing along the front of the hips. Yeah. And then bending both knees and moving into an inversion. So just keeping that support at the back of the hips. You might need to wiggle around a little bit in the back of the hips till it feels comfortable. Lift the heels. So you want to stack your knees above the hips. You could stay there or extend your legs up to the sky. And you could stay here 2 or 3 minutes, so feel free to pause the video here if this is comfortable and feels for you right now nourishing and supportive and like you need to linger a little longer. Then I highly recommend taking this pose, the legs up the wall pose, Viparita Karani, taking this pose a little longer. Otherwise, just enjoy one more slow deep breath here. Exhaling. You can maybe at this point allow your eyes to close naturally and taking your feet flat to the floor. And reposition the bolster so it's now at the back of your knees, the bolster or the blanket or the cushion or pillow. And then taking a few moments here to relax in our final relaxation. We moved a lot of energy. It's important now to allow your mind, body, system to assimilate to all that's just occurred and to really start to invite a sense of calm into your body. Letting the breath be free and natural. No need to control the breath or the mind. So maybe pause the video here and allow for a practice of effortlessness. How effortless can you be with your attention and your breath? I hope you enjoyed this practice. I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.